My final thoughts after playing Routine, playing through the whole game, this sci-fi puzzle horror game with the 1980s, 70s aesthetic. Overall, I did really like it. I mean, I've been waiting for this game for a while. I saw those initial trailers a few years back and was very excited to play this because it obviously appealed to my love of retro future horror, especially with like the alien influences. But yeah, I really liked the environments, really liked the world building, really liked the feeding of information to me, but you do have to make sure you're going around reading diary entries, looking at the media files that you can discover along the way, all of that stuff to really kind of uncover what's going on.
I shouldn't be recording this. When I returned from the perimeter check, a Type 5 escorted me directly to the ASN. No explanation, and definitely not protocol. They'll bury it. I know they will. I know what I saw, but what was that? That thing sprouting from the body?
If you just blast through all of that and don't read any of that information, I can imagine being very, very lost in an already kind of almost ethereal kind of story that's going on. It's one of those ethereal cosmic horrors to a certain degree, and if you're not looking at all the different bits of information, you're probably going to get lost as to what's going on. But visually, very impressive, stunning. Like, the game worked. I didn't have any issues, glitches, or anything along those lines. It all worked smoothly, which is, you know, nice to see in the year of 2025. The puzzles were, like, they tested my brain on a few occasions. I had to put things together and look at all the information and make it all make sense. But, you know, it just took like a minute or two on a couple of them. But otherwise, you know, it felt like they were challenging, but not so challenging that they were annoying. They're not like typical easy video game puzzles. There is a bit of brain work you have to put in to figure them out, but they're doable. They are doable and they're not annoying. Like, I feel like I made good progress throughout the game and didn't get held up. I don't know if people would be disappointed by the threats, monsters that are in the game, because really all you have to do is robots, and then it kind of twists the tail on its head and then reveals its ace up its sleeve as to what's actually going on, and then you get some more spooky creatures to deal with. And I do like looking through the viewfinder for like the monster. I think that's quite a cool idea. I found the monster to be genuinely creepy, and I do like that there were layers to the creature in the story. Like, it wasn't just, I'm big mad monster who wants to kill everything. There was actual story and tension behind what the monster is doing and why it's there. The main criticism I have with the game, I guess, is that I did kind of clock onto the pattern of the gameplay pretty quickly, where it was puzzle, introduce a threat to then do the puzzle while there's a threat active, then reset back to new puzzle. Like, I kind of got used to the formula, the loop, and it didn't really stray too far from that. So once it was apparent that that's what was happening, that kind of made it a little bit easier, I guess, and maybe too easy to a point to anticipate what might happen next. Which, you know, with a horror game, you want to not be able to anticipate what's going to happen next, because that's what makes it spooky. All in all, I like it, but I think one of the main reasons I like this is because it just appeals to my love of the sci-fi retro future aesthetic. That's doing a lot of heavy lifting. A couple of good jump scares in there, but it doesn't lean on those, which I actually kind of appreciative of. Like, it knew when to do the jump scares. It didn't lean on them constantly. And it just made me unsettled enough. And the sound design's really good, especially when you've got headphones on. Oh, you fucking Christ, hide. So I liked all of that. I think I'm gonna lean on giving this like a good sort of 8 out of 10. I think the story being as trippy and weird as it was, but also I felt like I could connect the dots and kind of come to a conclusion about what was happening and why it was happening. It wasn't so ethereal that I was like, I don't know what any of this means. It didn't go to that level, but there was enough there for me to connect the dots and come to a, oh, okay, I think I know what's happened here. Good old enthusiastic 8 out of 10 for me. On the scale of 10 being masterpiece perfect, 0 being dog poop, 5 being average, like perfectly good, solid, average, like I'm happy I'm playing this, but it's not doing anything extraordinary. Because of like my bias for the aesthetic, that obviously gets it some points, and I think they did it really well. I think the sound design's really good.
It searches for something.
Well, that's not foreboding at all. That's not cause for concern. The puzzles were, like, doable, but they felt complex enough to feel real within the world that it's taking place. Like, it didn't feel like strictly video game puzzle. Like, I feel like video games sometimes suffer from, this is a video game puzzle, where the puzzles in this felt like, oh, I'm just picking up the pieces of what people have done before me and what happened, and it's kind of unveiling things that have happened previously as I'm doing the puzzle. And like I say, it feels natural to the world that I'm inhabiting. And I thought the story was pretty good. I kind of like these, like I say, these space odyssey mixed with alien kind of story that's going on. Has the cake and eat it a little bit. Especially how I went into this very blind. I did not know how deep the well was going to go. I literally just thought this was, you're trapped on the lunar space where the robots are running amok. That's all I knew going into this. So that worked for me. It really worked like a twist in the tale. Oh, you thought it was about this? My only criticisms really with this are, I think the slow pace could put some people off because it's not frantic constantly throughout the whole game. It's not constantly trying to jump scare you, which I know is something that may not be to everyone's taste in a video game. People like it to be a little bit more frantic and a little bit more, I'm going to die at any given second. But I kind of like that there were periods of just explore the environment, pick up the pieces of what happened before you got here and join the dots, and then give you a little bit of frantic running around. I'm also quite happy that this game didn't overstay its welcome. It was like, okay, we're just gonna get the story, we're gonna get in and out. It really wasn't that long, 7.5 hours. So I think that was pretty much the perfect length for this game. It did not need to be any longer than that. My overall estimations of this game is like, you know, it's not groundbreaking or anything, but I think it's pretty solid at what it's doing.